there is an invisible block that's holding you back from getting you to the next stage of your growth in your business, in your relationship, in your health, in your finances. Today's video, I'm going to share with you how I identified that invisible block for me this week and how you can maybe start to discover that for yourself in your own life. And it's fucking 35 degrees right now here in Toronto. I'm hot as balls, but we're going to flow. I'm going to bring you some value, so stay with me, okay? I've been meeting with my coach every week for the last 2 months, and I hired a new coach recently because I really wanted to step into the next level of leadership in my life through how I'm showing up in my business and my relationship. And I just realized that what got me to where I am now is not what's going to get me to where I want to be. And what I've discovered, whenever I've invested in myself and put money down, it's almost like it's when you align intention with action, magical things start happening. Things start flowing very quickly because it's almost like you signal to the universe that you're ready to step into the next phase and receive. Really, that's what it comes down to. It's receiving the awareness, receiving an upgrade in awareness or upgrade in clarity to be able to show you where you've been unconsciously holding yourself back. Over this last week, in this particular phase that I'm in my business right now, where I'm running 2 businesses, you could say, my coaching business and a supplement company. And my girlfriend, Amanda, works with me in both those businesses. And up until now, she'd been managing aspects of my coaching business, building landing pages and funnels and doing a lot of the design work. And I was the one kind of scripting a lot of the content, filming content and coaching. She was doing a lot of the back end edits. And as she stepped more fully into this supplement business, there is less capacity. She's less available. And it's a really difficult balance. And if you run a business with your partner, you'll know the struggle of this, which is if you expect your partner to play too many roles in your life, then all of a sudden your polarity gets quite neutralized. And it's something that I've been navigating recently, just as she's here visiting Toronto with me. She lives in Lisbon normally. We've been trying to navigate how to manage these different roles. And I'm just realizing, or I discovered that there's a block right now in my business because I'm too dependent on her to fulfill the role of building landing pages, design, funnel building, XYZ. And this part of me has been attached to having her do these things. She also takes it on, right? She's someone who will take on a lot of these responsibilities. But what's going to get us to the next stage is finding someone who can do what she does, but even better. So her capacity is freed up to focus more on the high level strategy, the creative direction side of things. And for both of us, we're going through this period right now where I'm realizing that there was this unconscious blind spot of us clinging to control of this aspect in our business that has almost been capping our growth. Like business is sort of capped around the 20 to 30K mark. And it's been like that and it's been great, by the way. Like I'm blessed that I was able to build a 6-figure coaching business at the age of 27. And it's been like that for 3-4 years now. But we're now at the stage where we're ready to go to the next level. We want to step into having 100 to 200K months. We're ready to have multiple properties around the world. We're ready to have a family. So the cost of not moving through this internal blockage of finding the right support, tuning into the frequency of what it'd be like to have the right support around us, and then trusting that will come through. The block of not having that is my family's not here yet. I haven't been able to provide for my family in certain ways that I want. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's important. You must get clear on what's the cost of not stepping into the version of you that you know you need to be. What's the cost of it? Because if you don't dial in that pain enough, you're going to stay in the comfortable and the familiar. And that's what my coach helped me do on the call, right? It's like, I got really clear. I was like, wow, fuck. If I'd already stepped into this, I may even have a kid right now. I'd probably be married right now. So by me playing and staying at this level, it's costing me so much. Even though the level's great, even though I live a great life, if you're ready to transcend and move beyond, the pain must get to a certain point where you're fed up with. So that's where I got at this week. And as soon as I got off that coaching call, I reached out to my network. Again, something that I'm trying to get better at stepping into because I realized that was another block, which was all the opportunities are there. All the people that I need are already here. I'm in masterminds, I'm in communities, I'm around people who are running multi-million-dollar businesses. And all I had to do was shift and see that it was already here. So there was an unconscious block there. I didn't need to go looking for the new opportunities. I just needed to see what was already here. So where is that showing up in your life right now? Where are you missing what's already available. But it's just a matter of reaching out and grabbing it with both hands. So in my case, I hit up some people in my community. Hey, I'm looking for a funnel builder. I'm looking for a designer. Who do you know? Set up 2 calls this week. And then bang, the breakthrough was matched with the integration of taking action. You can coach people, or people can go on these psychedelic experiences and have the breakthrough, but if you don't go out and take the action, you're not integrating it. So that's what the integration looked like for me. And remembering, because the excuse or the limitation that would come up in my mind is, oh shit, how much am I gonna have to pay to have this A player on my team, this absolute gun? Am I in a place in my business where I can afford to pay 5 to 10 grand to have someone come on and do that? But that's wrong. It's the old self thinking about that, right? The new self stays connected to what is it gonna feel like when I have someone as good as my girl Amanda working in the business, and Amanda's freed up and her capacity is freed up to work on other things, even to not work on other things, where she can be at home and just be in her feminine and start to care for the house in a way that she really wants to, or care for her other passions and hobbies the way that she really wants to. What's that gonna free up in both of us? And for me, come back down to, as a man, when I can take more things off my girl's plate, when I can free up her emotional feminine expression to go in the areas that she desires in her life, I benefit from that. She pours back into me in ways that open up more of my expression, that open up more joy and play and bliss and fun in my life. So it's an ebb and flow. So this week, that was been the plan, had the breakthrough. Now go out and integrate the breakthrough. Because what ends up happening is, for me, right, I've been in this work a long time. I've been a coach for the last 6 years. I've been running an online business for 7 years. I've been in the world of personal development for the last 10 years. And even still, there is these psychological blind spots that get in the way of me seeing where I'm holding myself back. And it doesn't matter how much you meditate or how many books you read. If you don't have someone showing you, coaching you, guiding you, reflecting back to you the paradigm that's keeping you stuck, you will think you're doing the work, you will think you're progressing, but you're staying stuck in the same loop. And this illusion of progression is masked by all of these healthy habits, right? Of going to the gym, reading the books, making the podcast, making the content. But if you're not seeing where you're unconsciously clinging to the familiar and resisting the growth that needs to happen through contradicting who you think you are, which will always be scary and uncomfortable, you're bypassing what it means to transcend. You're bypassing what it means to step into this next level of growth. And you just essentially look at that by going, where am I not satisfied in my life right now? Where am I unsatisfied with the results that I'm getting? Because in that area is where there is a psychological blind spot that is holding you back. And sometimes it takes paying a coach to get on a call with you and say, what the fuck are you doing? Look at this thing over here that you're ignoring. Are you aware of the impact that's having on your life by staying in the same place right now? It's important. For me personally, that is so valuable when I receive that, when I get that, which is why I give that, which is why I am a coach. So notice how probably if you are living a life of purpose and passion, if you're following your highest calling and expression, what you need the most is often what you give the most, right? So what you give the most is usually what you need the most too. It's inverse. If you're giving that a lot to other people, where are you receiving it? Because I've fallen into that so many times, coaching so many people, holding space for so many people. But who's holding space for me? Who's giving me what I need? So don't fall into that trap as well, because always be a student. For me, I always like to be a student of my own growth. And sometimes, all the time, the student needs a master, the student needs a mentor, the student needs someone to go, hey, help me out. Show me where I'm not seeing, show me what I'm not seeing. So it's been an amazing experience for me to have a really high level coach over the last 2 months, just fucking giving it to me straight. Do you have that right now in your life? Who's giving it to you straight? No filter. This is what I see. Even more important for men. Even more important, because if a man's not given clear, honest reflections, he will start to fall into his own patterns of bullshit that will keep him playing small, that will keep him beneath his potential, not stepping into his full masculine power. When you unblock that, when you feel the unblockage, when it happens, and your energies open up, courage starts to emerge. Courage to just step into who you're meant to be, say what needs to be said, to create what needs to be expressed, to be seen. Because you just realize the only thing getting in the way of you having the thing that you want is an emotion that you're afraid to feel, is a frequency you're afraid to embody. And why are you afraid of that? Well, probably because in the past, you were told that it wasn't safe to step into that energy. That energy is not who you are. But the truth is, you decide who you are. You're deciding all the fucking time. So the moment you become aware that there's something you need to step into and you're resisting it, that's the area you must double click on and double down on. That's the area where all the growth is. It's a playful thing too, right? I was in meditation in this full moon yesterday. The energy is a lot higher. The full moon, the moon, Luna is reflecting what's in the shadow. What's in the shadow is the emotions, the subconscious. So when the full moon comes around, you've got an amplification of what's in the subconscious. So for me, when I'm meditating, when it's a full moon and I'm meditating, I'm tapping into this frequency. I can feel it right away. The energy's higher. I can feel the energy, it's higher. So let me play with my imagination. What would it be like to be in that future reality in terms of embodying the frequency of who I'm stepping into? What would that feel like? Remember, for something to exist physically, it must exist first vibration. Your imagination is the only limit to what you can tap into vibrationally. So on the weekend, went and watched the new F1 movie with Brad Pitt. And it's funny for me, whenever I'm in cinemas, this was like 10:30 at night on a Saturday. Rarely do I watch movies much these days, but they, for some reason, happen to be these perfect portals where I'm allowed to switch off from consciously having to think. My subconscious comes back online. I'm getting inspiration from what I'm seeing, especially if it's a good movie. And now my imagination's bouncing around and joining dots and going like, oh, wow. Because especially when you're watching like a movie like F1 and movies like Top Gun where, if you're a man, you love that shit where it's men stepping into optimal performance and there's this flow state that they're tapping into. And I was thinking about my life, like, okay, cool. Where do I need to be optimizing flow state in my life? Where am I looking? Where do I need to see where I need to be prioritizing my optimal performance? So like I'm in the movie joining dots going, wow, this was actually one of the most valuable uses of my time to actually step away from my regular practice or step away from my regular routine and have an outlet where I'm just thinking unstructured play. And the creativity that came from that is now this week I'm coming back to pull all those ideas together. And Amanda and I were up late after that movie just talking about this next level in our journeys, talking about what it means to step into this new frequency in our lives now that we're starting to join the dots. Because the moment you see it, it becomes real. The mind has to integrate the next level by starting to see it more clearly, what it would look like externally, but most importantly, what it would feel like internally. It's really powerful when you start to think about that, okay? Really powerful. All right, my friend, I'm going to leave it at that. But if you want some more support integrating or embodying anything I'm sharing here, just check the link in the description. I work with men in men's groups right now, and I work with high performers on a one-to-one level, starting to put this stuff into practice. You'll be amazed at how quickly things accelerate when you have the right people around you. All right, crush the week. Let's get it.